Hello, my name is Jerry Gerlinger. I'm the president of FlexCart, and you have been helping me develop a new housekeeping cart for your purposes on your property. And the help you've given me, the whole team has given me over the past over a year, has really resulted in, I think, a great item that's going to serve you very well. And thank you for your patience as we've gone through that process, and now we've gone into production. So the purpose of this video is to kind of display and describe the final cart and the features and how it is to be used. So I'm just going to start very quickly with the front side here. Number one of the things that we kind of struggled over were the wheels. These are the wheels we've settled on. I think they're great wheels. They travel over the bumps and difficulties of the outside terrain at the property. Go over, thresholds, go inside easily, outside. So I think they really function well. We use them on other maintenance carts, and I think it really is the right solution. Actual pneumatics just don't work, as you discovered, but these are a nice in between. One of the things that you asked for also on the carts was a brake. So now the carts have a brake. So it's very easy to apply those and to release those, and the carts won't move. So you've got that all covered. The surround on the top was another thing that we changed. These are all kind of changes as a result of the last meetings that we had. So this used to be open on the side, and then we figured out, well, really it just needs to be closed all the way around. That way you can put things up here and it won't fall off. So that's what you've got now. A nice lightweight but durable plastic ABS surround on the top. The duster holder was also a problem. So what we did was put the same type of holder that holds the brooms and mops, the really heavy duty holder on the side here that will easily allow this to clip in and stay there. So you've got a spot for your duster, which is nice. The drawers are the same. But I'll go ahead and talk about them for a second. Lots of built-in organization in the drawers, as you might remember. The idea, of course, with FlexCart and the way we do things is that everything has its place. So if you have 22 of these, which you will soon, what's great is if you all kind of agree on a standard. That the shampoos will go here and the body lotions will go here, and there's to be so many in there. If you do that, then the kind of the mystery of how things are or the way they should be goes away. There's an agreement, and it really makes things more efficient. So I love to give you spaces to do that in, to organize in. In this top drawer, you've got some good spaces for a tablet if you use one, or paperwork, maybe paper items that you have to leave in the room. They can go up here and be protected. And then, I'm looking at my list, sorry I'm cheating, I have a lot of things to go over. The shelf covers, so you might recall that we only had one on the bottom before, but I came up with another design for the shelf covers, and I'll move this so you can see it a little bit better. So it covers over the bottom, and then there's a bungee cord that allows you to get into the space, but then pops up to cover it. And so we're now doing that on both the one next to the wheel and the one above it. So it's really nice. It's going to protect the things that are in there, keep them from sliding off, keep them from getting dirty, that kind of thing. You'd also asked for a cover plate down in here that there was an open space to the wheels. So there are now covers from in the front and in the back to make sure that no dirt or grime or wet or whatever gets onto anything inside here. Again, some nice little improvements that, it's those little things that seem to matter, and so I really try to pay attention to those things. Let's turn it, we'll take a look at the front. So the front is very similar to before, but I'll go ahead and just show you. We have this great and simple way to carry your vacuum. Nice little cradle for it, where the wheel is cradled, and of course this bungee that holds it in place. While I have this off, I'll show you you got the two good pockets here for carrying things that you want to organize, and then down here, this space is generally for putting in extra bags for your vacuum. Just a nice simple spout that you can always use for that purpose. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, so let me put this back. Just hook it back up, and then I'm going to show you this handle again, which you may remember from the other carts, but it's a great feature for the people who haven't used it. When you approach a room, you roll up to the room, then instead of trying to push that through the door, you can hold the door open and grab this handle and pull the cart inside and not have it hit the walls or the door jamb. So you've got a lot of control over moving it through a doorway with that little handle in the front. Now, let's take a look at this side. Only a few small changes here, but there were things that you had asked for, so I listened. Again, we had put these heavier duty mop and broom holders, and on the bottom, a metal receiver. So one of the things I really try to concentrate on was durability. I want these to last for you, to be able to take the daily use. So you've got some very strong devices here, very neat in a row, which is great, and a place for 3 items. And then on the side, you got the panel, the pockets that we had before. I raised this lower pocket to get it above this wheel a little bit more. And then also there's a little strap added right here, which I will talk to you about in just a minute and tell you what that's for. So that is everything for this side. Now let's take a look at the back. You may recall and have used this before. We've got a spot for a lot of bottles in here, because I know you guys use lots of different cleaners and liquids to do your job. So you've got the ability to carry up to 8 of these, so they can go in between and then in the holes themselves. Or you can end up carrying bottles of this shape in here too. So you can carry probably between 8 and 9 bottles in here. Or if you want to use it for other carrying purposes, you take the bottles out and put a big cup in here, and now you've got a place to carry other things. So there's just lots of good organized space again. We love that organization, and that's how we do it right there. I think I'm also going to tell you about the lock. So the lock, there was some talk about changing it, and frankly, there's just no other easy way to do it. And I think you'll get used to this lock. It's very simple. I just pulled it out of the storage location. Just remember, when you're not using it, this is where it goes, right in here. And then when you're using it, right inside here, you can't see it, but just inside, so on the other side of this hole is another hole. You close all your drawers up, and then put the rod in, and now it's locked. So I can't open the drawers now. So when you want to open the drawers, just slide it back over here and put that in there. Now you can get in there. So just keep that in mind. That's how that's used. While I'm on the back here too, I want to remind you of a feature of this cart that makes it easier to move around. So if you happen to be coming up to a bump or a curb that is maybe too big to roll over, if you just put your body weight right here, you can actually pop this up if you want. It's not that much pressure that's required, and you can pop that front end up and go right over whatever you're trying to go over. If that's difficult for you, then what I would do is that when you get to that spot where you've got to lift it up over a curb or something, you would back it over and just lift like that. It's not real heavy. Tried to make it as lightweight as possible while still being durable. That's always the challenge, is trying to get that durability, but also make it light enough to be, easy to take along. So that's what I think we've really achieved that. Only put the weight where it was needed. Let's see here. Another thing in the back, we had gone back and forth, and some feedback that I've gotten from you guys and your team was that you didn't like the zipper that was here. So I've replaced that zipper with Velcro as requested, but also put a snap in the top to make sure this always stays closed. Right? So if you're opening this up, you unsnap it, it completely opens on this side, and then on this side it opens down to here. So you've got access to the things down here, but you've got a fixed screwed in point right here And then when you're done getting in here, you bring this side over, then bring this one over, snap, and then just work your way down and put the Velcro back on, and voila, you're in good shape. You can see that we sewed in some heavy 1-inch nylon strap here, so all of our fasteners go through that strap, and it creates a long-lasting heavy dutiness to that fabric case, but without getting too heavy, which is nice. So you've got lots of storage in here, all covered neatly and nicely with this cover I just showed you. Something else I'm going to tell you about, we had talked about getting a rain cover, still working on that. So I've got once I've gotten the carts done and they are shipped, then I'm going to be working on a cover that I'll send to you after. That cover, ideally, will be small enough once you take it off to roll it up and it'll go into a pocket, like say this pocket right here. So you'll have a way, if it's raining, to cover the whole cart, handle exposed, and you're going to be able to push it along covered, or mostly covered. We won't cover these, but we'll have maybe Velcro around that so it's nice and tight. The cover over this, we'll make it cover 99% of the cart. But there's one other feature that I want to introduce you to, this idea, and I thought, okay, we're making a cover for the cart, but what about the person pushing the cart? So if it's raining, yes, the cart will be dry, but the person pushing it will be standing in the rain. So I thought, well, let me see if I can find a really good cover umbrella that will provide some cover for the person pushing the cart, while also having the cover for the cart. So what you do, if you got a rainy period, you would pull this out, clamp it onto the handle like this, push these buttons down, and you can rotate this to the position that you want it. Now I'm about 5'8", so I am probably on the taller side of people who are using this. But let's see, do I have this lined up? Let me get this right so you see it right. There we go. So now I can push this along, covered here, and I'm covered as well. So this is an option. I'm going to send a couple of them to you probably pretty soon before you get the other carts, so you can experiment with them and play around with them. But if you're having a lot of rain, it's nice to be able to cover yourself as well as the cart. And I personally think it looks really good too. So it looks very professional. Now, when you're not using it and you need to take it down and put it away, if you have a dry period, you probably wouldn't even carry it with you. But if you have to carry it with you, then you just fold it up like you would any other umbrella. And then on this side, that strap I talked to you about, this just goes in there, right? And this little knob right here sits on this corner like that. So you've got a way to carry it around with you too. Doesn't bother you, it's not difficult, but it's right there if it is needed. So just trying to think of some other ways that we can make this cart solve problems, and that was just something else that came to mind. So those are the core features of the cart. Lots of other little things in it that you'll probably appreciate when you start to use it. I know that our core of building the cart was to make it lightweight, easy to move, small, it's only 14 inches wide. I mean, you weren't going to struggle moving this cart or getting it through a doorway, making it very organized, making it very high quality. We want it to last, we want it to look good. I think we accomplished that. I hope when you get them you feel the same way. I'm looking forward to, once the other carts are delivered, coming out and visiting and seeing them all in action. If you have any questions and you would like to get the answer straight from me, feel free to call me. My number is 614-348-2517. Thanks a lot.